Really excited about today's session, and I wanted, just to come up and learn, in terms of sort of design and just getting people together and getting different people that you wouldn't normally think of, sort of like design students thinking about, sort of like justice in a locality, sort of like Dundee, and hopefully I can borrow some of the ideas and use them in Inverclyde.
I think in order to maybe tackle some of the issues in communities, it's important to get professionals to talk to each other and also to maybe talk to people in the community more as well, which could be a big challenge, and I think maybe design can help break down those areas basically.
It just frees up our whole sort of thinking, sort of like so much we're just stuck in our own way and we never get to, sort of like actually look up and see, well actually I've never thought of doing that, sort of like that way, or I never thought sort of that we could change that, or sort of reconsider, sort of like, or if that would work better, and even if it's sort of just small changes that we've never thought of before, and that's what this is all about.
I'm really interested in design because it seems you can make users of services into co-designers, and hopefully they can help lead the projects in their own communities rather than professionals saying what's best for them. So I think design can be really empowering that way, and that's hopefully what I hope to learn today, different types of techniques that can really engage people on a human level basically.
I hope to get a fresh perspective of the subject and to take away from other professions as well. I'm sitting at a table with an interior designer, a man from the council, and a man that has his own design business. So taking away from my own legal analytical mind, I would like to be more open-minded.
Well, working with people from lots of different sectors is really fascinating to get their take on things. For me to be exposed to their world and for them to be exposed to design. I think it was incredible that in the short space of time we all felt like we had the beginnings of a solution, and that we could do that. We could create something more, and working together we can make a difference.
I think institutions, sort of like will find this challenging. I think institutions will need to be open to new ideas and to actually not immediately put up barriers of, sort of like, well, that wouldn't possibly work, or that's not going to be able to fund that, or we're not going to be able to evaluate that properly. I think we need to try, sort of like different approaches. Up to now, obviously, we've not got the answers, and so we can only improve.
I think especially with the subject of the criminal justice system, it's easy to be judgmental and it's easy to be closed-minded. So today, looking at it from a design point of view, I think lots of different avenues are going to be opened up, and you're going to see things that you wouldn't have seen before and think things you wouldn't have thought before.
I think the biggest challenge is to try and keep true to who you are as a designer and what you want, but also make it purposeful and listen to what other people need and want. I think, trying to find that balance.
I hope to make at least a difference to one person's life. I know that sounds cheesy, but to me, if I can make a positive impact on someone's life by challenging what's known as quite a stuffy profession and taking a fresh outlook of it, then I know I've achieved something in my profession.
This element was today was definitely the ability to kind of look into the more discrete elements of what we do. So it's not about the most immediate obvious thing that comes out. It's about the little nuanced elements that you can take forward and that actually become the bigger overall idea.
I find that it's very enlightening to actually work with people from different backgrounds, because once you stay with people that are from the same background as you, you end up thinking in the same way and coming up with the same solutions, and you don't see other perspectives. But if you interact with other people, you realize that there's so much that you can combine and do together.
Easy to come up with something new and innovative, but at the same time there's that it's that awareness of what the person's need is that you're designing for, and that consideration has to be embedded in the design, that it can't be separate from it.
The one thing that I want to take forward and make other people realize from what I learned today is that with anything that you learn and with whatever background you have, you can make a difference and you can change people's lives for the better.
This definitely has an impact on how you would take kind of criminal justice forward, because the person has to be at the centre of what you're doing. The person has to be considered. They need to be at the heart of what's going on, and in order to actually make improvements to the criminal justice service, you can't do it without putting them in it.
What I really liked about today is that I found that design thinking can be used in justice, and that you can learn about it even though you don't study design, because I'm a geographer and I feel that many people who don't study exactly, like particularly what is needed for that environment, like improving healthcare or justice, they feel they can't make a difference, but everyone's view matters. And what I really like is that if you're just a human that empathizes, you can come up with solutions that don't really have anything to do at first sight with the justice system to like improve people's lives, because it's all about prevention and offering them what they need in the first place so that they don't end up like getting into trouble in the first place.